I'm still experiencing those flickering light flashy things, so if I'm not looking at the camera, that's why. Hey, it's Alisha. If you're new to my guide, subscribe. If you already have, tap the bell button to stay updated with my channel. I went to the ophthalmologist this past Wednesday. It was one that I've never met before, but I decided to switch it up since I don't really like the one that I usually go to. I wanted to make this video inspired by that interesting experience. This is going to be the third installment of the Stargardt series, so I'm going to share tips to those of you who are in the adult age group. I've already done it for parents of kids living with teens as well as Stargardt's teens, so check it out here if you want to see those ones. But this one is all for you 20 to 40 something plus year olds. There's so many people in our age group that are killing it in spite of this eye disease. I just want you to know that if you ever feel down, if you feel isolated, there are others out there that are doing great things, and you can too. There are limitations. It is an obstacle. I'm not gonna lie to you, you guys know. Always keep it 100. I just want you to know that just because you've been diagnosed with a degenerative disease doesn't mean you have to lose hope on your life. Doesn't mean you can't have joy and be the best you and feel fulfilled in yourself and in your life. Only thing I'm going to say that overlaps on the last video that I did, because I mentioned it in the Stargardt's tips for teens, is the power of positivity and presence. It's so important to be present. I feel like that has helped me so much in dealing with this disease and warding off depression, because as long as I stay present in this moment and I focus on the now, I don't have to think about the past and what life was like before Stargardt's disease, which can send me down a whirlwind, or the future and what it's going to be like if my vision gets worse, which is a stress and a worry. So as long as I stay present in this moment, and I really hope that you do, it will really help you just get the most out of the moment. And also choosing positivity, which isn't an easy choice, but it's the best choice, because you can either be positive and choose a perspective that gives you the best and the most out of life, or you can allow this to bring you down and miss out on opportunities or not feel fulfilled. Isolation, that's a thing that I feel like a lot of us experience, whether like we're in our young 20s or even our 50s. A lot of times we're the only one in our family that has Stargardt's disease, and sometimes some of you have messaged me that you're the only ones in your city that have Stargardt's disease. Nowadays there's so many Facebook groups and YouTubers and forums and places where you can find people, whether they have Stargardt's disease or otherwise, that are living with visual impairments, that can really help you feel connected and understood. And I really, really hope that you take the time to kind of reach out, and whether it's me or anyone else, whether it's in your neighborhood or on the internet, find someone that gets it. A lot of you ask me about a cure. I feel like every age group always asks me about a cure. Everyone who is newly diagnosed that emails me, their first question, sometimes their subject in their email, or the first couple words that show up in the DM on Instagram, is there a cure? Right now, they are working on it. I asked the optometrist on Wednesday and she said 2 decades. I really don't know, because the optometrist that I left her for said 5 to 10 years. And the optometrist that referred me to the one I saw on Wednesday said within the decade. So I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I could tell you. I used to care so much about a cure, especially when I was initially diagnosed and I didn't know how much worse it would get. I just like, I don't want to deal with this. This is not my life. I just want to be normal, whatever normal is. And I just can't. I can't think of a life where my vision gets worse than what it was. And I was at 2040 then, and I'm at 2400 now. Wow, how much time has flown by. I just say all of this because when you're initially diagnosed, I understand how much you want your life to revert back to what it was, especially if you're diagnosed as late as me or later. I was diagnosed at 21, so you can imagine how much of my life I lived without even knowing what Stargardt's was. But I feel like for me, making that not so much a focus or concern has helped me also not be so hurt. I'm gonna focus on like the science a little bit, because I've had a lot of people debate with me, which is cool. I love when you give me your own opinion, but I'm only sharing things when I talk about science from my background as I studied nutrition, and also when I check with optometrists. The debate recently has been heavily about vitamin A, which I've mentioned in a ton of videos that we should limit. You can't cut it out of your diet completely. In fact, it is actually really unhealthy to do that, because you need vitamin A to nourish your body, regenerate your cells. It's very important for so many bodily functions. But when it comes to the retina, it's actually kind of tricky territory because yes, it does go there and it nourishes your eyes. Vitamin A is good for all of those who live without Stargardt disease because they don't have a misspelling in the ABCA4 gene, which is the whole problem. The whole cause of our disease is a gene misspelling that is causing an inability of us to extract the waste that is caused once vitamin A is used. It ends up sitting on our macula, which is a very specific part of our retina, which allows us to see fine print, things at a distance, color, perception, all of that. Whatever you feel like you're missing, it is all there. What happens is over time, this byproduct called lipofuscin, which actually looks very similar to liver spots on old people's arms, ends up wearing away on the thin layers of the retina, the cones, and that's what causes the deterioration of the disease over time. Don't know what triggers it because it starts at different ages, different stages for everyone, and sometimes even the phases and how rapid it happens is different for everyone. Sometimes it plateaus and doesn't get worse in one person, and sometimes it rapidly decreases in another, and doctors haven't figured that out yet. I might have mentioned it before in another video, might not have, but exercise is extremely important. I try to do 30 minutes of exercise every single day. Plus Sundays, I do 1 hour of yoga at a studio. I find that the circulation has really helped maintain the vision that I have, although on the other end of that, I've been stressed out really bad in November because something terrible happened and I experienced the worst vision loss I've had in 8 years then. And then I had some weird vision loss recently when I started experiencing those flickering lights I told you about in one of my last Stargardt videos this summer. Other than that, like exercising, trying to get 8 hours of sleep, well-balanced diet, and wearing sunglasses are all super freaking important. I feel like if you get those unlocked, it's the best way for you to maintain your vision. Your vision is more than just your vision. It is going to affect your psyche. It's going to affect your work. It's going to affect your relationships with people, but it doesn't have to be in a negative way. You can allow it to empower you and strengthen you to look at things differently, to just be a better version of yourself, because I believe with every challenge is an opportunity to be even better. And that's where I'm going to leave this video at. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. That's the best way for you to let me know that you like this kind of content. Definitely comment down below if you have anything you want to add or share with the community. So as always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great one. Until next time, love and later.